somewhat hyped about TSM, but not like we saw, you know, going into Worlds last year, where people felt like they were looking super good. Double though, training with Sven.
Oh, a lot of damage back and forth. Devour comes out, Sven cannot.
Where Hanzo will be going aggressive first, and this is the right setup for a counter gank if G2 wants it.
First blood is on the cards. Knockup finds nobody, but Sven Skeren is unburrowed. Cocoon lands. First blood is going to be available and picked up by Hanzo. Sven Skeren is not going to die. He sinks the fangs in. Finally,
no fighting.
Expect gets 6 as well. The Baron comes back. The minions are working in his favor. Body slam finds a target. Hanzo's running for his life. Flashes to safety.
Smart by Hanzo in the end, saving that flash. He knew, okay, I need to just dodge the barrel.
With which Hanzo flag and dragged into. You don't actually want to group up for this flag and drag. Everyone level 5, but he gets both of them with the initial set of damages. And then Sven Skeren is able to repel after landing his cocoon, buying enough time for Hanzo to hit. Then he lands his Cataclysm, but Sven Skeren's got no flash and no repel.
Yeah.
There's a turn on the other side, so like, what is he really gonna do? Tries to edge a little bit of damage
at that in a moment.
He has to wait now.
Because all of a sudden the barrel comes out. That's a good stun into the wall. Cataclysm comes down, but Hanzo's got no flash, and G2.
But they also know Cleanse is down, so if Bjergsen flashes for the taunt, they're gonna try and get a gank with Elise.
That's a flash over the wall. Follow flash from Bjergsen. Taunts come out. Wins of war and the cocoon. Team solo mid get their first kill in the mid lane.
I actually feel like we see this quite often from G2, but let's talk about it after, because top lane, 3-man.
Well, Expect's just gonna die. Heroic entrance into the taunt and a Justice Punch to secure the kill. TSM with a strong advantage. So with a strong early game yet again against G2. Trick's gonna get caught by the cocoon. Devour's available. Stand behind me gets used, as does the Source. Now Sven Skeren's the target. He jumped in with the repel, gets killed by Sven. Support comes in for Team Solo Mid. Bjergsen decides not to save Sven Skeren.
Yeah, this could also be turret.
But look at the supports on the minimap. Team Solo Mid coming in. Abyssal Voyage is going to deliver Sven Skeren and Biofrost. Sven is the target, but it's Trick and Mithy taking all the damage. Expect is here. Too. Here comes Expect. Needs to use the barrel defensively. Gets rid of double lift. Hanzo locks Sven inside the Cataclysm as Bjergsen takes him down. That's a double kill for Bjergsen. Cocoon on the back end secures another kill for TSM.
Using the globals so well. They've been great at using things like Rise Ultimate and Toledo Wall, and this is just another example of that. So Tom Kench comes in with the Jarvan, then they immediately get the Galley window. So 3 people essentially teleporting into the middle of the lane. Expect tries to match, but he's too slow, and Perks also isn't there. So TSM had 5 people there from the beginning, whereas for G2, it was 3, and then slowly 4, and then the 5th, and never is it an even-numbered fight. They end up losing 4 people.
Well, that was actually very impressive.
It was indeed. G2 started this split with the mini vacation, and they're still struggling for it. Here comes Perks with a scatter the weak. Unleashed power comes up. Mithy forced to flash defensively. Nobody on TSM is at risk, but Perks is. Barrage with that Blade of the Ruined King. And as it stands, the tension continues to build. G2 looking to re-engage. The Unburrow gets 2. There's a body slam as well. Perks' scatter the weak, not the greatest. And the taunt only catches Expect. This is good for G2 Esports. Mithy's the target as the Unbreakable blocks some damage. And Sven takes down Hanzo. It's MSI all over again.
Yeah, here in time, and that's why with the Righteous Glory Gragas, he's going aggressive, because look at the minimap. Jarvan is bottom lane, and this is where G2 feels confident, starting the fight, get a small advantage, and now with Hanzo joining, the HP is slightly in favor of G2, and it's only G2's front line getting hit.
Yep, exactly. These initiations, they know that they're baiting for a fight. Let's see it.
Hanzo gets tagged up. Sorry to Fishers, he is caught to the Unburrow. The Void Ooze buys a couple seconds of time as the hero's entrance comes down. Trick is the target, 300 HP. Great Cataclysm from Hanzo. Sven with the flash manages to escape. Perks takes out Sven Skeren. Bjergsen trying to get onto Sven. Mithy's on the front line with the help of Expect, and everybody from TSM is low. Wings of War tagging on Sven, but he's unkillable. That's a double kill for Perks. It's a very post-traumatic stress disorder. 26 minutes in, and G2 with the great Baron react.
Yeah, Hanzo using his flag and drag on the Rek'Sai, and then what is that Galio ultimate? It's used way too early. You need to use that on the Cataclysm. Textbook use of this team composition. It allows Perks and Sven, in this case, to kind of free hit the back of the fight. Bjergsen stuck there. You can see Doublelift doesn't have a last whisper yet, so he can't cut through Expect. And yes, the 3,000 gold lead doesn't mean anything when the fights are playing out.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for. The Strike Broom comes up. Perks is the target. He used the flash earlier. TSM with all the tools available. easily take down Perks. It's a 4-on-5. TSM still maintain control.
Yeah, Sven Skaren has no flash. They use the majority of their initiation. It's going to be much harder for them to re-engage this next time.
All right, Baron, 6,000 HP. It's not going very low. Doublelift trying his best to get those autos down. 4,000 HP. Knock up onto Bjergsen as he's now thinking about turning. Tricks going in onto the front line. Tricks the target. 2,000 HP. Barrel from Expect splits up TSM and Mythi's blocking what he can. Sven remains untouched. He's got Bjergsen. The Devour comes out. Now Biofrost is stunned. Needs to pop the Grey Health. Bjergsen running for his life.
Love the fact that they know TSM can't kill Baron quickly, but now they...
Oh, it's happening!
The flash Sven is the target. Not going to be able to escape this time round, but the knockback is more time. Sven is taken down by Hornser and Bjergsen as they double up. Defensive moves from the rest of G2. Knock up under the tower. Perks manages to cleanse him till Sven Skaren gets that venomous bite. Resets from Doublelift. Rocket jump into flash. Trick is the target. Red buff bursting away as he rocket jumps back to safety.
They power chucked him so long. It's very simple. You use the Jarvan ult on the Kog'Maw.
In the early game by TSM consistently, and then it's TSM struggling to get that big advantage to really say, now we can try and close out the game. This took them 30 minutes to get a fight like this here. No flash on Sven. They get onto him with everything. And G2 Esports were most likely saying, like, we got a few seconds left on the flashes. Don't fight, don't fight. And then they see the Jarvan fly over the wall, and suddenly they lose the fight.
Yeah, to Sven's credit, he hasn't been giving TSM many opportunities, which is why they've been using it on some other people. Still think they should have done it a little bit earlier, because now I do feel like the game is
proven to be very valuable and important this game. And TSM, they're looking to take another tower. Expect and Trick gonna come in for some sort of re-engage. Hero's entrance comes down. G2 need to tunnel away to safety.
Everything burned though.
It doesn't look like it. Bjergsen tries to Justice Punch. Rest of TSM backing away. Doublelift's not here. Doublelift is pushing the mid lane. Bjergsen's at threat. Gets the Duran down. Biofrost by some time as Biofrost, baby, saves TSM. Horns got a goggles of his own and the Thornmail. Cocoon will cost Mythy his life.
A massive gold advantage, and more importantly, open that mid lane as well with the inhib. They're going for our tower.
Right. Scatter the weak comes out. I'm looking for Expect Barrel to split up TSM. There it is. Biofrost is on the front line, but Doublelift remains unkilled. Sven is untouched. Perks has got one. That was a 3 or 4 man stun. Bjergsen's the target of Sven, while the rest of G2 tried to get TSM. This will buy some time as Bjergsen maintains his life for a few seconds longer. Doublelift flashes forward for the kill. So careful.
Yeah, Triss a little more mobile than Kog'Maw, still has the rocket jumps. Triss got a little bit ambitious at the end of that fight. Rek'Sai ulting to chase onto Doublelift while the rest of G2 was dealing with Bjergsen and a re-engage.
What? What's gonna go down? That flag and drag was just sad. But you know what? Trick said, I'll re-engage. Haunter figured he should have a shot too.
Yeah, and TSM here definitely overstayed. They wanted to get the turret without the Baron buff, so what happened is Doublelift took a lot of damage on the back end of the fight, but then was only at about 25% health, so could never really fully engage, and some massive stuns came through from Perks, the extended team fight after ulting, getting the multi-ball stun.
Also Mythy finding his way just in front of Doublelift, standing there, put up his shield. You know, at this point, Braum is actually fairly tanky because he's able to build things like Knight's Vow. He's now going towards Locket as well. So it is actually pretty hard to kill Mythy quickly, and he's able to just stand right there in front of Doublelift, making sure he does no damage. This,
Jad, what do you think Haunts is thinking here?
He's thinking triple kill, but it's just not going to happen. He had the blast cone right there for a free escape. Doublelift and Sven Skaren maybe thought they'd be able to take the 3 and 3, but Elder Drake going down right now, and TSM has to fight it.
All right, teleport's coming in from behind the pit. It's Haunter with Cataclysm available. This is going to be massive. Gets interrupted. Locks down Sven. Sven decides to flash away as a knock-up comes down. Justice Punch kind of interrupted by Bjergsen. Sven is life-stealing the best that he can.
Side of the map. This is Baron too.
Yeah, easily secured despite Expect available to him. And can look for another Cataclysm in the river. It was so impactful. Instead, Haunts is just going to waltz right in. Flag and drag for the engage. Gets it down onto Perks. And Sven, heroic entrance. This has to be the game. Sven Skaren's a target. How is Sven not dead? The time's running out. Sven stays alive. The stun comes down. And finally, Sven and Perks are killed. The North American LCS are taking down EU. Expect and Trick are running for their lives. Believe me, G2, this game is over.
41 minutes in, they get the initiation once again on Sven. Deficio, we talked a lot about what they should do. Well, they did it. They pulled off the initiation.
And that's why they're winning.
That's going to be the game.
The Nexus turrets are falling. His double lift hops forward, unkilled, untouched, and unthreatened. Team Solo Mid strike first in Rift Rivals 2017.
Gotta feel slightly satisfying for TSM. It's no MSI victory, but they still, as Deficio, as Quickshot said, strike first here at MSI. With the Galio, with double lift on a hyper carry, stalled out a little bit in the mid to late game against G2, but they do take him down.
Yeah, they had to find the right engages and kind of figure out, okay, how are we actually going to set up these fights? And in the end, they figured it out, you know, go on to Sven with Galio and Jarvan at the same time.
Have you guys heard the saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same? We go from Brazil, MSI, EULCS, NALCS to Berlin, and we see a very similar game throughout the majority, but great addition at the end for TSM.
But here we have to talk about jet lag for G2 Esports. It's been a 30-minute drive from the gaming house to the studio. That's